very different to a normal Saturday morning. Hi TV, your luxury channel, has covered multiple events at multiple places, but this time around we wanted to see what the nation wants to see for the year 2022 with all these protests that are happening. As you could see, there's a large crowd that has gathered around me. This is happening at Golf-Ace Green. We've been to Golf-Ace Green for some amazing things, but this time around we are here to see what is the reason and what is the cause, what are the people asking. So let's get into some of the opinions and their viewpoints on today's People Have Spoken on Hi TV. So we're with Rohan right now. I just wanted to ask him, the people have come together and you say power of the people. What is your purpose behind standing here?
Well, as a patriotic citizen and a person who loves this country, I am from a generation that has stood by for decades doing nothing. So actually I'm here not to fight for my generation, but for the generation to come, because we owe it to them to give them a better future for this country. And we have been responsible for decades to put people with bad track records, with corruption, murderers, drug lords into parliament. And now it's time to say enough is enough and clean this country up for the next generation. There is no hope otherwise for this nation, and we stand today here to support the next generation to fight for this country and save it.
What would you like as the first change that you would like to see?
The first change I would like to see is an interim government coming together with all capable people in parliament. There are people on both sides of the divide who are good, who are honest, who have ethics, who have empathy, and who are capable. Get them together first, and then restructure our debt, make sure the basic essentials for the people are provided so that industry can run, that people can cook food at home, that people can get on with their lives, and then we can worry about the future of this country, because without helping the short-term gains for the people, nothing will get done in this country.
With our special segment, People Have Spoken, I'm going to speak to Raisa here. Raisa, tell me what brought you to the streets today?
So basically I have been protesting throughout every day. So we live close by here, but it's not about anything about your race or community or religion. Today we are all here together, and that's the most important thing, as one Sri Lankan, because I have a school myself with early childhood education, and that's what I've been trying to promote with the kids as one Sri Lankan. And we want to have a good future. We want to give our children a good future. I have my own child who I'm very scared as to what is going to happen with her. And we don't know what is going to happen in a few weeks' time. It's so scary to even think about stepping forward to doing anything in future, even with our businesses, the corporates or anything. We are sure to go down deeper with this crisis. Nobody's coming with a proper solution. We are with thieves who are governing this country. What more do we need than come to the streets right now? Because I'm not even able to pay my salaries properly. When people are not able to pay the fees, no business, they're coming with sorry plights like stories. We can't, our business is not working. How do we pay for their own child's education? What's more? What am I going to do?
I just want to ask you, with all these protests that have happened in the last few weeks, but there is also the essence of the protest that has gone a bit off track in terms of violence that has been seen, burning of things, jumping over people's walls. Is that the right way? What would you give as a message to those who try to cripple the real reason behind it?
So basically, we have been part of the organization doing the silent vigils of Kolpiti, Kohuvala, Bathuramulla, Rajagire. We are part of that group. We do not promote violence. because that's not the answer to this whole thing. We go through violence, we are just, creating another barrier for us to be able to protest and move forward with this protest. Because obviously the government and all those who are involved with them are going to take it as an advantage to prevent us from going forward in this protest. And I think that's a very silly way of doing things, because we as Sri Lankans should be more methodical and should promote our culture. I think our traditional culture, that we are not violent. We are proper good citizens of Sri Lanka, and we must be a role model to the younger generation. I don't think the younger generation, if they follow this kind of thing, it's not a good thing.
Brilliant. Well spoken, and thank you so very much for giving your opinion.
Thank you very much for giving us a chance.
We are here to speak to Prishen. Prishen, I just want to ask you, what brought you to this protest and what do you believe in?
I believe in the freedom to live. And this is the result of the pressure the government has built on us for the past 74 years. So the people has come to the road, and the result is now you can see the result now on the goal face.
Prishan, what do you do and what do you hope in your life to change?
My hope is the better future to all the people in Sri Lanka.
පුවක්කක්කේ අපේ වොයිස් කට් එකක් ඉල්ලනවා. මේක වැඩ කරනවද? ඔව් ඔව් වැඩ කරනවා කියන්න. මේ ළමයිනේ අපි දැම්ම රෙදි ඇඳගෙන IMF එකට දිව්වේ නැත්තම් තව සතියකින් මුළු රටම කපෝති නතර වෙනවා. පාරේ දුවන්න තෙල් නැහැ. බිස්නස් වැහෙනවා, කෑම නැති වෙනවා. එතකොට අපිටම මේ go home කියන්නේ නෙමෙයි එක එකව කා ගන්න වෙන්නේ. ඒ හින්දා කෑ ගහන තැනක කෑම කන්න. කෑම කන්න. ගෑස් ගන්න. ගෑස් ගන්න. බේත් ගන්න. බේත් ගන්න. කරන්ට් ගන්න. කරන්ට් ගන්න. අනිත් ඔක්කොමත් වැදගත්. හැබැයි අපිට මේ අවස්ථාවේ ඔක්සිජන් ටිකක් අවශ්‍යයි. නැත්තම් තව සතියකින් මුළු රටම වැහෙනවා. එච්චරයි මං කියන්න ආවේ. කෑ ගහපල්ලා කෑ ගහපල්ලා. කෑම කන්න. කෑම කන්න.
So I'm with Ken right now, who's in the hospitality trade. What brought you here today?
Well, people don't have gas. People don't have fuel. People have no way of going to work. And, we don't get people to come to Sri Lanka, especially the tourists, come and, go around the country because they don't have fuel. So the international media is projecting Sri Lanka is a failed nation. So we have to do something about it.
What is it that you are fighting for? You have a slogan. Tell me the reason behind it.
Yeah, my slogan is no VIP security, because it's a waste. How much we are spending on backup vehicles, and people don't have fuel, but they're still going on backup vehicles. Is it sensible?
Now, everyone has been raising the voice saying go home, Gota. There has been a lot of changes that they've required in the parliament. By any chance, do you feel if you have to hold accountable, what would you say is the best advice of these people leaving the parliament, and who will be accountable for it?
I think people elected them. However, now no party has majority. Because people have given the mandate, now people are withdrawing the mandate. So there's no mandate. Now the best thing, I don't see there is immediate election because we don't spend a lot of money. The sensible move would be the parliamentarians should get together, form an interim government, and repeal the executive presidency. And till the interim government is formed, give all the basic needs to the people, and go to IMF, negotiate, for the loans what we have to pay, bring new terms on the loan, and so have the stability. We can't move without the stability. So the best sensible thing would be elect an interim government with professionals who love the country, not the rogues, and form a sensible cabinet, and have the election probably after 9 months or whatever. That's the way to go about.
What is your thought on having Dr. Harsha De Silva coming in as the interim president?
Definitely, I would support because he's a scholar, he's educated, you know what is he doing. I'm not, we are not behind the party politics. But however, the need of the hour is, to have a stable country, go to countries, go to IMF, negotiate for a better settlement, for better loans, then have the election, change the constitution as well. Otherwise, the presidency you can't go. Absolute power corrupts people. It's already, you can see how it is corrupted.
I'm with this well-known theatre personality.
Hi, I'm Niren.
Yes, Niren, tell me, you are wearing one of my favorite stage plays as well.
To be relevant, I hope people understand the reference.
All right, tell me, what brought you here and what do you believe in? What should be our tomorrow?
I'm not actually a very political type of personality.
Even the channel is not. We just wanted to see what is behind people's opinions today.
So for me, this is the first time we are coming together without any kind of like ethnic group or any kind of partisan, and that's a very new thing for Sri Lanka. I wish we did this decades ago. And we had this as a practice, because what the politicians have done is like divided us, and most of the protests which have happened is because of some party or some institute or somebody. So this is the first time which has happened. I feel a little bit late, but should have had happened before. I also have to kind of say, on one side, I'm optimistic that everyone will come together and we will eventually give up racism or any kind of classism. But I feel it's a little bit late when it comes to economy, so I'm a little bit pessimistic whether this will actually help us.
What would you say would be the right decision, like right now? Do you think everyone in the parliament going home is the right decision, or we asking them to give us a solution is the decision? What would you say is the right end to this long journey of protests?
The only thing I can think of is like abolishing the executive presidency rule. But in addition to that, I'm also a little bit lost in terms of what should happen, because right now with especially with our currencies and the lack of US dollars, we have no choice but to go to another country for support. So the question is, where do we go to? Do we go to Russia? Do we go to China? Do we go to US? And there's another political agenda there. There's like another whole proxy war which is happening with that kind of a situation. So to be honest, I don't know. It's a very dark and pessimistic time, I would say.
What would you say to those who are completely going off track when it comes to the protests?
What do you specifically mean by going off track?
In terms of creating some sort of violence, or protesting with no exact clear vision, or maybe even making it more of a riot than a protest?
Yes, we are used to that. No, that's a part of our culture. I think we got used to it. I think maybe for the first time we are protesting out of peace, and we're not into kind of damaging property or kind of instigating. Sometimes you could be surprised that people who want to kind of point the finger at people are protesting could instigate this as well. So there's that angle as well. But I feel maybe the people now are a little bit more matured. But you only need a handful of people to kind of mess the whole thing up.
ඡන්දේ ගත්ත මේගොල්ලෝ ඡන්දේ අරගෙන මේ ඡන්දෙත් අරගෙන ඔක්කොම කළා අපිට මුකුත් කරේ නැහැ අපිව බැහැර කළාම දැම්මා අපි අසරණ කළා දැම්මා ඒ වගේම මේ හැමදේම මිල ගිහිලා තිනවා අපි කොහොමද වැඩ කරන්නේ අපි ගන්න පඩිය මදි අපිට රුපියල් 25000 කරන් පුළුවන් ද ජීවත් වෙන්න.
Where this protest well, mainly to bring some structure to what's happening, and I believe removing the 20A is critical for that, and removing the executive presidency. So after that, I think it gives a lot of freedom for the experts in all the civil service key areas that we need right now to go to the IMF, to restructure ISBs, so on. The freedom for them to operate is predicated on getting rid of the 20A as well as the executive presidency. And that's personally what I'm here for.
Very different to all the interviews that you might have seen on Hi TV, but I have Sean with me. I must say you're very well dressed for the protest. All right, I just want to know, tell me your purpose. What made you step out of your house today?
The thing is, currently I live in the U.S. I just came all the way from U.S. just to be here, to be with my people. Because, a couple of years ago, when he was running for the presidency or whatever, so I supported him. Like, I called my friends and asked them to vote for him. But I never thought that he's going to be this failed.
It's very rare that we see the diaspora community coming down without just being voicing their opinions from another country. What would you say to the diaspora community about Sri Lanka, and what should they do for the love that they have towards this country?
The thing is, now our country, our motherland, is in a deep crisis because, financially, basically. My opinion is, my advice is, we all should support, like, people who live there. So we all should support our country. But the thing is, but not with these people, these politicians, because they have ruined our country, like, so bad. So because of that, they need to go home, they need to resign, and then any interim government or some capable people should come forward and take this control. So then we should help them, so there are a lot of people out there to help.